Welcome to Modern Management of the Older Adult, brought to you by the Institute of Clinical Excellence.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Modern Management of the Older Adult podcast. I am Dr. Samantha Chamberlain, and I am excited to talk to you about coaching. So, something that we say in Modern Management Older Adult often is coach first. And in our live course, we go through this very well repeatedly through all of our labs as far as, giving some some visual feedback and verbal feedback. And coaching is the tactile coaching or touching is the last thing we want to do. We want to stick with keeping our hands off as much as possible. So when we say coach first, with this idea of reducing tactile cues, but what does coaching first mean? So today I want to talk to you about what coaching is, how to frame it as a clinician, and what it can look like from a prevention standpoint. So let's look at some definitions first. Let's talk about the word coach. A coach is an expert who trains someone learning or improving a skill, especially one related to performing. Coach, the job or activity of providing training for people or helping to prepare them for something. Coaching, the act of giving special classes in sports, school subject, or a work-related activity, especially to one person or a small group. So let's think about these definitions with a clinical lens focused on patient experience. A coach, you as a clinician, is an expert. You are an expert. You have more knowledge than you often realize because it always feels like there is so much more to learn. But you are an expert. So a coach is an expert who trains someone learning something new, learning to navigate around pain, learning to navigate around injury, deficits, learning a new sport or skill, or improving a skill, improving the ability to fall safely, improving ability to walk to reduce fall risk, improving coordination, improving pickleball performance, improving a skill, especially one related to performing. Life is a performance. Performing household tasks, performing self-dressing, performing independent ambulation, performing floor transfers, performing sit-to-stand transfers, performing getting in and out of a bathtub or a car. These should all start to sound very familiar. I'm sure you've written these as a goal before for individuals that you are treating. We help people improve their ability to perform all the time. The more we can do that with the expert precision and attention to the goal based on the current abilities of the person in front of us. Some of these current abilities we've already identified with our outcome measures. Some are going to be based on the subjective information that you get from that patient day to day, right? Did they sleep good last night? Have they been eating enough? Have they been drinking enough? All these factors kind of play into their day-to-day performance, but we also have those objective measures that will vary as well, but we kind of know where our baseline is. But keeping in mind their current abilities along with the goals we need to guide them to achieving, the better we can prepare the person for success. Now, although I missed out on the ice sampler, I know it was about prevention. So let's look at the next definition. The job or activity of providing training for people or helping to prepare them for something. We have this huge market that is seemingly untapped. Sure, from a financial perspective, that's a great marketing tool, oh, look at all these things, if you can get the buy-in, if you can get people to do it. But from a helping people live long and die fast perspective, the perspective is even greater. It's so exciting to have this opportunity as a therapist. Say you've met the goals mentioned above. The people are sticking with you. You've greatly improved the older adults' mobility. They have started to see the power of fitness and how they feel and how each day is a little bit easier. Their effort for those daily tasks are easier and their overall function has improved. Now they've got this crazy idea that, of course, we as older adult specialists do not think is crazy. We think it's wonderful. But they have this crazy idea that they want to start an athletic activity, right? So running fun runs or maybe even 5Ks, maybe even a half marathon or marathon, riding a bike again, returning to kayaking or learning pickleball or something else that maybe their family's doing and they feel like they're missing out. It doesn't matter. It's something new or something they haven't done in decades. As a clinician, you should be ecstatic because you have officially not just changed their pain, you have changed their life. Now, as a coach with the clinician knowledge, we can provide training and help prepare that patient for that task. We can apply progressive overload principles by breaking down the activity to smaller parts and use graded exposure to boost tolerance to the activity and avoid injury. We can set the expectation that they are going to have some soreness as they increase the speed of movement, as they get into larger ranges by increasing that speed of movement because they're able to get there, which maybe their strength couldn't get them there before. And as they load the movements, soreness can come with all these things. But soreness is going to be a heck of a lot better than a torn tendon and a lot better than a sedentary decline, right? Because they're like, oh, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not even going to try. But if we can get them to where they start to believe that they can maybe participate in some of these activities that they're seeing others participate in, or that they just think would be fun and they've never got to try it before or haven't done it in a long time, that is an exciting place to be. Lastly, I want to talk about coaching, the act of giving a special class in sports or a school subject, work-related activity, especially to one person or a small group. So while you could consider each patient visit that you have a special class, we can take this a step further and think of our communities at large and our role as coaching those. The MMOA.online website houses a lot of free resources for you guys, which can also be found on the new ICE Physio app. Exciting stuff. But among these free resources are workshops that you could easily host at a clinic, at a community center. You could use snippets of them as demonstrations at local events. So just think about providing some of these fall prevention and fall preparedness type workshops within a large weekend event. We're going into summertime, we're going into where there's lots of these community activities going on. You can set up a vendor booth and just have fun with it. Show older adults that they can be active. Encourage the older person with a walker that's walking by to get moving more, or that they can do it. Have them try something new if they're up for it. Right there, open up their eyes to the possibilities of what they can do. But can you imagine the impact you could start to have by simply making fitness and health focused care seen, in public, in the community, out in the wild? So coaching at each visit also does need to take place. We need to help build self-efficacy and autonomy for our patients. We need to try to use that visual and verbal cues as much as possible to reduce the reliance on our hands as therapists. So we need to be stepping up as coaches. They need to have the confidence to do the movements being asked of them with or without you being present. So coach first. So the takeaways here are going to be that a coach is an expert who trains someone learning or improving a skill, especially one related to performing. In turn, a clinician coach is an expert who trains someone learning or improving a skill to improve performance of a task necessary within that individual's life. We are all humans. We all have similar tasks, but everyone has different requirements throughout their day. You have the background knowledge to know when there are red flags leading you to reduce the intensity of that session, reduce the intensity with that patient, and when you can reassure the patient, all is good. You can push intensity. They can push intensity. It's good. All is clear. So giving them that okay, giving them that confidence that they will be all right to be a little out of breath is okay. Remind them that shortness of breath just sitting is a lot different than shortness of breath because they were putting in some effort. You can give them that okay. You can give them that confidence to keep moving. You can coach, the job or activity of providing training for people or helping to prepare them for something. You can help prepare humans for aging. Each person you meet is an old person in training. We are all training for the life we want. You, as the clinician, get the opportunity to help people and yourself identify if the training matches the goal. You get to ask the question, what do you want life to be like as an older adult? A walking program is great, but if your patient wants to be able to travel through a busy airport with luggage, then we probably need some loaded carries. We definitely need some deadlifts to support bracing along with power training to allow that patient to react to a busy environment, to react to a crowd, to react to that having to quickly shuffle and maneuver through different areas with their hands full, right? They don't always have something to reach out for. Or if gardening at home without feeling stiff and stuck bent over, then we absolutely are deadlifting, right? We're power training, we're squatting, we're strengthening thoracic extension with relatively heavier loads to make the duration of gardening easier under lighter loads. Old person in training. We are training people for aging, not for deconditioning. And then we are coaching. We are in the act of giving special classes, in sports or a work-related activity, especially to a small group or to an individual person. Again, we could spin this to say community wellness, coaching, rehab, coaching, aging community coaching, however you want to title it. You are giving special classes on life-related activities to better avoid deconditioning, support longevity, and improve societal view on aging. We as therapists are poised in a very amazing position to really start changing the view on aging. Older adulthood does not have to mean sitting in a chair. It can mean living the active life that we all envision for our retirement. Like, how many things are you like, oh, I'll do it when I'm not as busy, right? There's so many things that come to mind that I want to be able to do as an older adult, and I am training for it now. So what's your older adult doing? What's your patients doing to reach those goals that they want to achieve in older adulthood? Because I bet they didn't want to retire and then just spend their time at doctor's appointments. I bet they wanted to retire and do something with their time. Maybe it is just reading a book, and that's perfectly okay. But maybe it also is spending time with grandkids. Maybe it is playing catch with them. Maybe it is being active. Maybe it is trying a new hobby. Maybe it is finding a physical activity they like. But we need to be there for them to help that. How can we do that? We can make the fear of falling not any higher than it was in your 30s and 40s, because you know you have a good bone density because you participated in resistance training. You know you are less likely to have an injury because you practice falling. And you're less likely to have an injury because you have been power training and can move quickly, because you've worked to hold on to those type 2 muscle fibers. We are positioned to be really awesome life coaches. Not life coaches like directing people on where they're, what they're supposed to do in life, but maybe we could do that too, I don't know. But to be coaches for living long lives with the strength and mobility that we always pictured having as we think of retirement, grandparenthood, hobby participation. We are in a really unique position to help people out in a big, profound way. And I think it's super awesome that we have this opportunity. So if you have any questions about coaching, feel free to reach out to us. Don't forget to use the resources we have at mmoa.online or in the ICE Physio app. We also have several courses coming up. Our L2 for online has sold out. So the May cohort of it is sold out. The next cohort is in October, and that is posted. So if you want to jump into L2 before that one gets sold out and you're thinking about it, I highly recommend you go ahead and jump on over to that sign-up page and get your sign-up in if you've already completed L1 or if you are currently enrolled in L1. L1 is still open. It starts next week. It starts May 15th. So the next cohort of that starts May 15th, L1. We do have seats available for that one. And then we have several live courses going into May and August. I know there's one in North Dakota coming up. There's some in Virginia Beach. So definitely check out the website and see what live courses we have going. And we can't wait to see you out there. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to the MMOA podcast. If you found this helpful, please share with someone that could benefit. And if you're looking for more practical content to help you better serve older adults, head over to www.mmoa.online, where you can learn more about our free resources, our community, continuing education courses, and our certification. Once again, that's www.mmoa.online. Thanks for listening.